Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michelle, and I'm here with Cal. I am a teacher at Milano Meravili. Cal?
Yeah, I'm also a teacher at Milano Meravili, and I have been teaching there for 1 year, and I am Irish. Probably the most important one.
I'm Pakistani, and we actually have three Irish teachers in Meravili. We have Cal, we have Lisa, and we have Sean.
Oh yeah. Well, maybe I should tell them about the event that's happening tomorrow.
Definitely. Tell us about it.
So obviously, guys, as some of you know, yesterday was St. Patrick's Day. And unfortunately, because we did not get to celebrate St. Patrick's Day in the traditional way, we decided to organize an event with all of the Irish teachers in Milan and to try and talk about Irish traditions and Irish customs. So tomorrow, what we're doing is we're doing this from 7 p.m. And if you search on YouTube, Mayas Milano Meravili, you'll be able to find the link for this video, this webinar, where we're just going to have a bit of fun talking about Ireland and all things Irish. It'll be a bit of crack, as we say in Ireland.
What does that mean?
A bit of fun. Crack is a term that's used for fun. So if someone asks you in Ireland, what's the crack? They're not asking for drugs. They're asking you, like, what's up? What's the story? How are you? Kind of thing.
Oh, so a bit of crack is a bit of fun.
Yep.
And what's the crack is what's the news.
Exactly. However, it's not spelled in the traditional crack way. It's spelled like, yeah. So crack, because it's an Irish term, it's spelled like this.
Right.
But the pronunciation is still the same as crack, like when you crack your knuckles or something like that.
Okay, that's really interesting. Thank you for sharing, Cal. So, this event, which is happening on tomorrow's Thursday, which is happening tomorrow at 7 p.m. on YouTube. And what will you guys be doing during the event?
What we're going to do is we're going to speak about lots of different things, places to visit in Ireland. We're going to talk about Irish sports, Irish music, Irish dancing, the Irish language, some accents, and kind of just general talk, maybe a little bit about Irish history, if you guys want to know that. But yeah, it's going to be a bit of fun. We might make some Irish coffees as well, live on screen. So we're gonna have to stay tuned for that.
Oh, that is exciting. So an Irish coffee has a little bit of alcohol, correct?
Yeah, an Irish measure of a little bit of alcohol, which is not really a little bit of alcohol. Yeah, this is what we're doing. I'm excited. Are you excited, Michelle?
Definitely.
Are you gonna watch?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna join you guys. It sounds like a lot of fun. And, a great way to keep connected while practicing isolation and social distancing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, without further ado, let's jump into this. We have Lavinia. Hi, Lavinia. Where are you from? Write to us and let us know. We have Elisabetta from Rome. Hi, Elisabetta. Okay, so today we are talking about crime.
Dun dun dun.
And the vocabulary associated with it. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Okay, Cal, would you like to read?
For sure, yeah. So in this focus activity, guys, we are talking about crime, the justice system, and crime and punishment vocabulary.
Fantastic.
Wait.
Okay, let's talk about crime. Would you like to read?
Sure. Yeah. So crime. Is there a lot of crime in your city, in your country? Is crime on the rise globally? Are there more reports of crime in the news? Are we becoming an increasingly violent society? Hmm, okay,
Deep
very
question.
interesting. Yeah.
Okay, is there a lot of crime in your city and in your country? What do you guys think? Is there a lot of crime in Milano or Genoa or Rome or wherever you're from? And
Mm,
how about Italy as a country? Do
yeah.
you think there's a lot of crime in Italy? What's it like in Ireland, Cal?
So I'm not really sure, but I think like in general crime. So because guns and weapons like arms and stuff, bless you, are are illegal in Ireland unless you have a license. So not a lot of people carry guns and so like in fact like a very small percentage like carry weapons. So like there is not a lot of crime in our country as a whole, but that's not to say that there isn't any. There is still a fair amount of it. But
Mhm.
I think in terms of like what kind of crime, it's not very serious crime for me anyway. From what I've seen or understood. What do you think, Michelle? For you in Pakistan?
Definitely, I think Karachi is one of the biggest cities in the world, and like any big city, it has its fair share of crime, the same as New York or any country where the cops carry a gun,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
right. So yep, there is a fair bit of crime. The majority of the crime is are small crimes like someone steals your cell phone, someone snatches your bag, that kind of stuff.
Ooh,
In my
snatch.
country, ooh.
What does snatch mean? Sorry, I just heard that one there, and that was a cool word there. Snatch. Hmm.
So when you talk
Just
about the word snatch, it means someone takes away something that you are holding on to by force.
hmm.
Right? So suppose you have your bag, you're walking down the street, and someone comes and you don't realize it. They grab your bag and they just pull it from you and they run away. So they've
Okay.
snatched your bag and then they ran away.
All right. Nice. Sorry. Thank you.
Okay, do you think that crime is on the rise globally?
um, I think so because now that like technology has gotten to a point where we're far more capable of doing things from our laptops and from our computers like today like what we're doing now because we're able to do so many more things, the amount of different new crimes now that are being committed are on the rise for sure. And unfortunately still the crimes that would have been happening throughout history as well are still happening as well. So I think yeah that it is kind of on the rise.
Yep, we have Gisela who is answering the last question. Are we becoming an increasingly violent society? And she says, sincerely, we're becoming an always more violent society. So,
Mm,
Gisela, I would make a few tiny corrections there. I completely share your sentiment. I would say we're consistently becoming a more violent society. Do you think that's accurate, Cal?
yeah, absolutely, because you're using the present continuous. We are becoming, and so consistently is a great term to use. Consistent, so it's like going up by the same amount.
Okay, are there more reports of crime in the news?
Hmm. Well, I think so because everything's online. So
Yeah,
many like different
exactly.
people.
I think that there is more reporting on crime because there's more exposure with social media and the internet being what it is. I think crime is more regularly exposed, so there's more reporting on it.
Yeah. And like usually news stations and news outlets generally don't like to talk about nice happy things because that doesn't get a lot of clicks and views. So they just write about all the terrible things that people would be interested in finding out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know this firsthand coming from Pakistan. Very often the media portrays the country very different from my own personal experience. So definitely the worst parts are always highlighted and shared. And I think you're right. Clickbait, it's a clickbait culture.
Oh yes,
Hmm.
great term to use.
Clickbait. How would we describe clickbait?
So click something is like to select something on your phone or maybe more so on your computer because of the click of your mouse. But to bait is like to tempt. And
Right.
so like clickbait is when you put something, whether it's a picture or a statement, at the front of a news report that people have to
Mhm.
click to enter. Um, that's kind of, I guess, invokes something in them, or it kind of attracts them to it. Yeah, sorry, attract attention. Yeah, nice.
Okay, so Elizabetha says in normal times, Rome isn't too bad. There are some suburban areas which are more violent than the downtown areas.
Oh, okay, interesting. I must
Okay,
visit the
shall we?
center.
Okay, citizens be warned. Which word is used in the text in three different ways as various parts of speech?
Hmm.
So, just to clarify, parts of speech are verbs, nouns, adverbs, adjectives, prepositions, so on and so forth. Cal, would you like to read the text?
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go. Police are searching for a homicide suspect in Lancaster. Oh wait, I'm gonna read this like a news reporter. I'm gonna get
Oh,
the
yeah,
news
that'd
report.
be good.
So I got like the dana dana. Well, I got the music going on. Police are searching for a homicide suspect in Lancaster tonight. Residents are warned to stay in their homes and contact the authorities if they spot anyone suspicious. The convict is suspected of killing the driver of a car which he stole to use as a getaway vehicle for a robbery. He was released on parole just last week. Dun, dun,
That was so good. If teaching doesn't pan out, you know you have a future in broadcasting.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
Backup career.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, can you guys guess which three words have been used in different ways? Which words have been used in three different ways as parts of speech in the text? We'll give you a minute.
Hmm.
But in the meantime, Cal, have you ever been robbed or mugged or any
Um.
other a victim of any
So
crime?
I have not, fortunately, touch
Hmm.
wood, been affected by any crimes like this. I
Hmm.
think in terms of like physical crime, um, I'm not exactly a typical target, I'd say, for people because I'm quite a big person, so it's not the easiest, I'd say, to come at me. That's
Right.
probably why people are deterred from going at me like that. But I'm generally quite a safe person in like the information that I give out on the internet or kind of stuff that I do in general. I'm not a very kind of risk taking person, I guess.
Well, that's smart and that's good.
Hmm.
Lavinia has the answer. She says suspect, suspicious, and suspected. Fantastic job, Lavinia. You're absolutely correct. So let's just quickly go over the word forms. So, police are searching for a homicide suspect in Lancaster tonight. So, over here, suspect is a noun,
Mm-hmm.
right? It is the
Yeah.
person that the police believe or could be responsible for the crime. Okay? The reason we say believe and could be is because they don't have proof as yet. This individual is just a person of interest. Next, we have suspicious. Um, okay, suspicious. The word suspicious is, how would you describe the word suspicious, Cal? Do you want to take this?
Yeah. So suspicious is an adjective in this one.
Hmm.
So saying if they spot anyone suspicious. So the adjective is describing a person who is acting in a way that looks like they are responsible for something in like responsible for something bad, for example. Or it could be a suspicious looking object as well
Hmm.
that looks like it could cause a problem.
Fantastic. And we can turn this into an adverb by putting an ly and turning it into suspiciously.
Ooh,
Next,
nice.
we have the word suspected. Now, this is interesting because the word suspect and to suspect are different. A suspect is a noun, it's a person of interest, a person believed to be responsible. However, to suspect is a verb, is it is the belief that someone is responsible. So it's kind of interesting how we have these word forms from
Hmm.
one root word.
Okay, I'm just writing them down here. Sorry.
Sure, no worries.
There we go.
Fantastic. If you guys have any questions, please write to us and let us know.
Hmm.
Okay, we have a list of events and we would like you to put it in the right order. Um, Sorry, don't know what happened there. Is it
Oh, we're back.
back? Okay, fantastic. Okay, Cal, would you like to read?
Yeah, so what we need to do here, guys, is put the events in order. So first, he shot and killed the driver. He was read his rights. A witness heard the shots and called the authorities. He stole the vehicle. The convict was released on parole. He accosted the driver of a vehicle. The suspect was arrested and put in handcuffs. He claimed innocence. He robbed a bank.
Okay. So shall we try to organize this? If you
Sure.
guys want to jump in at any point and help us organize this, we'd love for you to interact with us. In the meantime, Cal and I are going to try to figure this out ourselves. Okay, so number one. Okay, so
Okay.
I think number one should be he robbed a bank.
Yeah, I would agree. I
Okay,
would agree.
no. Number one is the convict was released on parole. Okay, so two words here, convict and parole. Who
Okay.
is a convict?
So a convict is a person who has committed a crime and then been convicted, has been found guilty of a crime and been sent to jail.
Okay, and parole?
Parole is I believe it's the period of time, or sorry, it's like I'm not really sure. Is it like the period of time when after a convict has been released that they are still being monitored?
Yep, yep, absolutely. So, parole is when the temporary or permanent release of a prisoner. before the end of their actual sentence. And it's usually given on the basis of good behavior, just good behavior, because what else can you do in prison? So you usually receive that on a basis on the basis of good behavior, but you have to check in with a parole officer, right? So there are certain conditions you have to fulfill in order to have access to be released on parole.
Okay.
Okay, what do you think is number two?
Number two, say, I would think that he robbed the bank is number two. No?
I don't think so. I think first he needs to
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Maybe does he need to steal the vehicle first?
I think so. Oh, you're right. He robbed a bank.
Yes. He robbed the bank. I don't know. I
He
don't know why
robbed
I'm
the bank.
celebrating the fact that he robbed the bank, but I'm gonna do it.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Number two is he robbed the bank. What's number three?
Okay, number three. Maybe he stole the vehicle next.
No, he accosted the driver of a vehicle.
Hmm.
Okay, so here we have the word accosted, and the infinitive is to accost someone. How do we describe accosted? To accost someone is to approach someone and address them aggressively.
Okay. So to approach and engage aggressively with someone.
Okay, now we have number four. He accosted the driver of a vehicle. What happened next?
Well, I'm assuming after he approached and engaged aggressively the person who was driving that he actually stole the vehicle itself. Oh my god, I got it wrong. I'm terrible. I'm so bad. I should be doing this lesson along with everybody else.
That's why we're doing it with everyone else, right? It's fun to be the student.
Yeah,
We're in this with you guys.
exactly.
So come make mistakes with us. Okay, he shot and killed the driver, and next he stole the vehicle. After which,
I'm too scared to pick one now.
yeah, I'm
Maybe
scared too. That's why I'm not picking any.
maybe a witness heard the shots and called the authorities.
Okay, fingers crossed.
Oh my god, here we
Yeah.
go. Yes.
Okay. Who is a witness?
Hmm. So a witness is a person who hears or sees the events of usually a crime and is able to explain what happened. So when someone is um, accused of being uh, of committing a crime, usually the person who is trying to put them in jail will bring forward a witness
Hmm.
to tell their side of the story.
Perfect. Okay, next up. Number seven.
Number seven, right?
The
Yeah.
suspect was arrested and put in handcuffs, and he claimed no, he was read his rights, and he claimed innocence. Okay, so what does it mean to be read your rights?
So you're to read someone's rights. This is something that the police do,
Hmm.
and oftentimes you'll see this in like a movie or something like that. So if you ever watch like crime or thriller movies, if someone gets arrested, uh, you always hear them say at the very beginning, "You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to an attorney. Anything you can or say will be used against you in a court of law." The rights are basically the from the Constitution, what the accused person is entitled to.
Oh, that's a really good explanation. Thank you, Cal.
Hmm 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 I did
Okay,
a
and
lot of
also,
modular in university. I did one.
I went to school.
Mm-hmm.
Can we also say, Slovenia has a very interesting question. She says, can we also say to handcuff someone? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, let's read out the words and then we'll match them. If you guys know the right answer, write to us in the comments. Let's get started. First
hmm
up, we have suspect, convict, guilty, innocent, parole, authorities. In the
hmm
red, we have blameless, police, having committed a crime, having served a prison sentence, a person thought to be guilty, conditional release from prison. Okay, so we've discussed a few of these words already, so hopefully you know the answer. First up, we have a suspect. Cal, what do you think
Okay.
the answer is?
Whew. Right. I'm going to be confident with this one. I'm going to say what first comes to my mind, and that
Hmm.
is a person thought to be guilty.
Perfect, good answer.
Yes. Nailed it. Nailed it.
Okay, next we have convict.
So this is another one, actually, Michelle, that's kind of similar to suspect in that we can use it as both a verb and a noun.
Absolutely.
Remember how we said suspect was the person who is thought to have committed
Hmm.
crime. The convict is the person who committed the crime and
Right.
was like sent to prison.
Hmm.
But the verb to convict, so slightly different pronunciation, similar to a suspect to suspect, a convict to convict. So the
Wow,
emphasis
that's
is changed to the second
important.
part.
Guys, that's so important, Gal. Could you repeat that once more so everyone pays
Yeah,
some real good attention?
absolutely. So the noun suspect, the verb to suspect, and the noun convict and the verb to convict.
I
So
hope you guys caught that.
yeah, the emphasis is put in a different place in the word.
Right, the accent moves up or it moves down.
Mhm.
So Cal, do you think this is convict or convict?
I think it's convict, having committed a crime. Oh,
Having
sorry.
served
Yeah,
a prison
yeah.
sentence. Yep,
I it was a long St. Patty's Day yesterday, guys. I'm sorry. All right, I'm
it's
just
a
gonna
long
say that.
St. Patty's Day, and these are the pitfalls of YouTube. We should do a bloopers reel, but we're live,
Yes.
so it's bloopers all hour long.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay, next up we have guilty. What do you think?
I'm really scared again. I would say guilty. Yeah, having committed a crime, right?
Yep,
If you're, if
absolutely.
you're, if you're guilty, you committed. It's your fault, basically.
Yep. Okay, innocent.
Oh, innocent. I got this one. Innocent is blameless.
Perfect. Okay, parole.
Parole, as we said before, the conditional release from prison,
Perfect. Authorities.
and the authorities are the police.
Okay, sorry, just adjusting my camera. Yep, the authorities are the police.
The police, maybe, if you're in America, sometimes they'll say, "Hey, f the police." All right.
Okay, the justice system. Fill in the gaps with the correct form of these words. We have judge, bail, evidence, arrest, convict or convict. We don't know right now.
Mm.
Jury, attorney, counsel, charge, interrogate, release, defendant, prosecution. Okay, Cal, do you want to read it over?
Yeah, I kind of want to read this first before,
Yeah,
before,
absolutely. Let's read it.
before going through it. Okay, so I'll read the paragraph, right,
Perfect.
for the. Okay. So after a suspect has been blank and blank by the police, the district or city blank can choose to the suspect with the crime if there is enough something. The suspect can hire something, or if he can't afford one, a public defender will be assigned to represent him. The accused in a criminal proceeding is called the something, and the accuser is called the something. After the first hearing, the suspect can be what on what if there's low flight risk. When the case is tried, the will determine if the defendant is innocent or guilty. If he is, the will determine the sentence.
Okay, do you guys have any answers? Do you have any questions? Write to us in the comments and let us know.
Oh, please, we need all the help that we can get in this one.
Clearly, we're struggling.
Well, I don't know, but I'm struggling.
Okay,
Alright.
we're gonna try and fill it out. Let's try.
Oh God. Okay.
Da 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 da.
I know, right?
Okay, so the first, let's try the first sentence, which is pretty long and has one, two, three, four, five blanks. Okay,
Right.
after a suspect has been blank and blank by the police, the district or city blank can choose to blank the suspect with the crime if there is enough blank. Okay, so what is the first thing that the police do when they think someone might be guilty?
Well, you're charged, right, or arrested. One of those two.
Yep, they're charged. But before they're charged, they're arrested, and something else happens,
Ah, yes.
right? So
In,
think back to all the CSI Miami, CSI New York,
yeah.
NCIS, every crime show you've ever seen. What happens? Yeah, good.
My vast law knowledge because of this. Maybe I should get the Horatio sunglasses on if I can find my sunglasses somewhere. You
Yeah,
know
that'll
the
make
guy from
all the
CSI
difference.
Miami.
So here we have the correct answer. Absolutely, you're doing a wonderful job, Rosie. Yes, after suspect has been arrested and interrogated by the police, the district or city.
mm, so I do know this one.
Go for it.
Thank God. The district or city attorney.
Good, nice.
But what is attorney, Michelle?
A lawyer
A lawyer.
can choose
Yes. They
to.
two. Ah, wait. Yes.
Yeah.
Wait. I'm. Oh God. I'm really nervous right now. Yeah.
Okay, in the
Choose to charge
meanwhile,
the subject.
sorry?
Is
Yep,
it? Is it charge the subject? The suspect. Sorry.
absolutely. If there is enough,
Evidence.
absolutely. Okay, so what is the difference between charge and arrest and convict? Right? Because we're using
Yeah.
convict as a verb as well. So to arrest someone is when the police slap on the handcuffs and they tell you, okay, come with us to the station, the police station, the questura, if you will, right? And then charge is the formal statement in which your crimes are you're listed, and the police officially blames you for these crimes,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's a
Yep.
formal accusation under the law, to put it
Yep.
simply. Okay, and then to convict, when we use the verb convict, we talk about when the judge or jury has officially and formally decided that the defendant, the suspect, is guilty of the crime. Right? At that point, you say this man has been convicted. And the last one we have, which we haven't mentioned here, but there's a word here, sentence. It is not
Mm.
the word sentence, which means phrase. It is the duration or of the punishment or the amount of the fine, right? So sentencing is a verb. And over here, within this criminal context, sentencing is when the judge or jury, depending on which system it is, decides the punishment, whether that is time in prison or money to be paid in the form of a fine. Okay, and here we have Valentina. Hi, Valentina. She has a question. Are you the same Valentina from Milano Meravigli? Because we're kind of excited
Brilliant.
if you are.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay, so what's the meaning of bail? Bail is the amount that is set for a crime, for a criminal to be released before the trial starts. So let me give you an example. Suppose I robbed Cal. Okay, the police arrest me and they put me in jail, and then the trial, the process is going to start, say, in a month. So for the duration of the month, I can appeal for bail, which means I ask the judge to allow me to go home and spend my time at home instead of at the prison waiting for trial. I spend my time at home waiting for the trial. However, the conditions of bail are usually that you cannot leave the city, and you should definitely not be committing any other offenses during that time.
Mm.
Furthermore, before the judge releases you on bail, you are required to pay a certain amount of money um, as collateral, as surety. You'll never get it back, but that's the amount they need to ensure that to allow you to leave the jail.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I hope that was pretty detailed. I hope that was enough. Let me know if there is any confusion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's like the amount of money that you pay to be released before your trial, basically.
Yes, pretty much. But it's
Yeah.
also the amount. It's also the actual release or the amount of money. Um, depends on the context.
Yeah. Because you can say like to bail someone out, like
Yep,
that's like to get them out of a difficult situation.
yep,
All right. Okay, do you want to go on to the next one?
yeah. Sure, go for it.
The suspect can hire, I'm going to say, counsel.
Yep, the suspect can hire counsel.
or if he can't afford one, a public defender will be assigned to represent him. Oh, this is another part of the reading of the rights. Like, if you cannot afford an attorney, one will be assigned to you.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Uh, the accused in a criminal proceeding is called as Rosie has said here, the defendant.
Fantastic work, Rosie. Absolutely.
And the accuser
Yeah.
is called the prosecution.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you want to take the next one?
Sure. Before we go forward, I would just like to highlight that the suspect can hire counsel. Over here, counsel means lawyer, and it comes from the over here it's a noun, but counsel is also a verb, to counsel someone, which means to advise someone, to give someone some information that could help them out, right? Okay, next up, at the first hearing, the suspect can be dash or dash if there's low flight risk. So at the first hearing, the suspect can be
I
can
think this
be
is
blank,
this
can be
relating to
blank,
our previous one. Ooh.
released on bail
Oh, nice.
if there's low flight risk. Okay, so what is a flight risk? A
So yeah, a flight risk. Oh my God.
So a flight risk is a person who will probably leave the country or leave the city if he is let out of prison, and they would not return for their trial. So I'll give you an example. In the case of Harvey Weinstein, he was thought to be a flight risk because he had lots of money, and he was thought to be able to leave the country before the trial and never come back.
Proper sicko.
Next, we have when the case is tried, the blank will determine if the defendant is innocent or guilty. Okay,
Hmm.
so this really depends on your justice system. So you have two prominent justice systems in the world. You have the American system, and I'm going to use the Italian system as an example. So the American system is runs on the basis of a jury. So they are 12 of your peers, 12 regular people who are called upon to judge the case. Whereas in Italy, I believe you do not use a jury, you have a judge. So over here, when the case is tried, the the jury, this is American, so the jury will determine if the defendant is innocent or guilty. In Italy, it would be the judge.
Hmm.
Okay, do you want to take the last one?
Yes. So if he is, so in this case, we'd say if he is convicted.
Brilliant. So this is use of the word convict in the verb and the past tense, convicted. Hmm.
So if he's convicted, the judge will determine the sentence.
Okay, fantastic. Nice work. Do you guys have any questions, any queries? Write to us and let us know. Okay, so before we just have a few minutes left. So let's just go through these terms and then we're going to wrap it up. Okay, would you like to read?
Sure, yeah. Oh, this is getting good. Right, it's getting
Mm,
gutsy and gory. Right. Okay. We've got homicide, uh, unlawful killing of a person by another. All right. First degree murder, This is premeditated with express malicious intent. So premeditated is basically when you were thinking about it beforehand. So you thought about it, you wanted to do it, and then you did it. That's first degree. Um, the second degree murder with implied malicious intent. So your intent is implied. Voluntary manslaughter with loss of control and legally justifiable provocation. Right. Involuntary manslaughter, unintentional without any wrongful act. So that could be like an example might be a car accident or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
I guess. Would that be voluntary?
Yeah.
There you go. Voluntary manslaughter would be like if you were provoked, if somebody like attacked you and you were defending yourself. Would that be
No,
voluntary manslaughter?
I think that would be self-defense.
Oh,
Okay,
sorry. Yes. No.
voluntary manslaughter, crimes which are crimes of passion, come under this category. You know, like a husband comes home and finds his wife cheating on him, and things happen. So in that context, that would be a voluntary manslaughter.
Hmm.
Involuntary manslaughter, Cal gave us a really good example of a car crash, but it's important to note it's how the car crash happened as well, right? So if you're drinking, that's probably going to be second degree murder. But if you're completely blameless and the car malfunctions or a deer comes in front of you, that would be involuntary manslaughter.
Mhm. And so, like the amount that you're convicted, or the amount of time that you're sentenced, depends on which one of these you're found guilty of.
Yeah, absolutely. Malicious, that is, I always like that word. I feel it's such a rich word. How
Yeah,
would you
great.
describe malicious?
With like, so malicious is like anything that's done um, with like a bad, like with bad intentions, I guess, or like if something is done for a bad reason.
Right, so that's the intent to cause harm.
Yeah.
Oh, how lovely. Rossi has said, good topic, guys. Thanks. Fantastic. We're so glad you enjoyed this lesson. We try to keep it
Yeah.
interesting and we try to keep it as informational as possible. We're really glad you like it.
Yeah.
And with that, unfortunately, guys, we are at the end of our time. Let's do a quick recap of some of the vocab that we've just gone through,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so let's just do this. We have suspect. Okay, let's do this together, Cal. Who is a
Sure.
suspect?
So the suspect is a person who is thought to be guilty,
Fantastic. A convict.
is having served a prison sentence.
Okay, guilty.
When you have committed a crime,
Mm-hmm. Innocent.
if you are blameless,
Yep. Parole.
the conditional release from prison,
Fantastic. Authorities?
the police.
Perfect. Okay, here we go, guys. We're done. We hope you really enjoyed the lesson. If you really
Mhm.
like this one, there's another lesson coming up in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Um, and don't forget, we have our event on the 19th. That's tomorrow at
No.
7 p.m. Join us with a glass of beer or a spritz
Yeah.
and get into that Irish spirit of St. Patty's Day. If you need
Mhm.
help from us, we're available on Facebook at SOS, My S English. So there's a number of ways through which you can reach us. If you have any questions, please feel free to write to us and let us know. With that, I'm signing out. Thank you for participating. Bye, guys. Cal,
Bye,
any
guys.
last words?
Nope. Sounds good to me. Thanks so much, guys.
Bye.